Hello. Thanks for joining us. Hi.
Hey, I am so sorry.
That's okay. You made it.
I'm like, I was sitting here like, my phone was charging too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, but here we are.
Here we are. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us. I was like, well, maybe he's in LA. And maybe, I'm like, maybe he thinks we're going to do it at 9 p.m. So, I'm like,
Yeah.
but we worked it out. Well, thank you for joining us. We have some people coming in, so they'll come back to us. Guys, thanks for coming in here. As you see, we went on and tagged Atkins' profile right there, as well as mine and F.A.T.E Global, so make sure you follow that. So thank you for coming in here. We gave you a shout out on our last one with Jason. And
Yeah. Jason's an amazing guy.
Yes. And, you were just down to jump in with us. So we appreciate that. So what I'm currently doing, I have a company. It's called F.A.T.E. It's the Foundation for Artistic Talent and Empowerment. And so basically what we do is we provide financial services and mentorship services for artists and stuff.
Awesome.
So your camera's, I picked it.
Sorry, here we go. Getting it together.
We got it. We working it out. We are working it out, okay? But yes, since we're People Store fam and you're doing some amazing things, man, I thought you'd be a perfect fit to kind of share your journey with our audience.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here, and hopefully I can answer some questions and be helpful to some people and, just have a good chat.
Yeah, so what are you doing like during this quarantine to kind of just keep yourself in a place of wellness, or just what are you doing throughout your days right now?
I've been playing music. I
saw that. You're really good. You got a beautiful voice, man.
Oh gosh. I was like, initially I was very kind of like, I don't know, I'm gonna do it because thank you for the compliment and I should just accept it and keep on moving, but I am not like a huge fan of my voice, but it's just been a good outlet, like as a creative, you have to have something going on, and with the way things have happened with the shutdown of the industry, it's been hard, but that's been my outlet, is playing music. So I'm happy to have that, and people seem to be enjoying it. So that's good.
Yeah, I got to listen to a couple of your videos. Did you teach yourself the guitar?
That, and I took lessons for a while. I've been kind of just dabbling for a while, off and on. But I used to play in a band, but that was like a long time ago. But
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I love it. I'm so interested because that's something I'm teaching myself during this time, trying to learn how to play my guitar. It's been something I've been trying to learn forever.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as people make it look.
It is not. I mean, one is like the skill of actually trying to do it, but then like actually your hands, like your fingers, it's like an ongoing. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find some light that isn't.
You're trying to find
crazy.
that perfect lighting. Find that lighting kit. Come on. Show that chocolate. Okay.
That's kind of blown out. Give me a second here.
You got to find the perfect spot in the house.
I got to find a good spot.
Your selfie spot. Go to your selfie spot.
Let me see here. Trying to set this tripod up too.
Okay. Make it easy on you. Okay, that's way better.
Yeah.
That's way better. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so awesome. So let's just kind of jump right in. A lot of people tend to watch this. We get thousands of viewers on our playback. So we'll just watch it and people will come in as they come. But guys, as you come in, you can post your questions in the question box. Feel free to ask questions so he can answer them for you. Try not to put them in the comment box just so that we don't miss them. And, we'll just go from there. So can you kind of like tell everybody kind of how you got into the entertainment industry? You talked about being in a band, but how did that start out for you?
Well, I mean, as far as like acting goes, I started doing theater in high school, and my freshman year I got into it, and I did it all through, I want to say until graduation, and I just loved it, After I was done, I was in a band, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I was like, I'm going to do music, and I did that for a while, and I didn't have the passion that I have for that I have for acting. And but I still had a lot of friends who are still, from school, other actors that I knew who were still doing it. And it just so happened that at the time, the film and TV industry really started to kind of pick up here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got this bug that's kind of still biting me, so
Yeah.
let me go and give it a try, And I had been primarily doing stage. And so the shift from stage to screen was a little different. Acting is
Yeah.
acting, but there are some differences.
Mm-hmm.
And I took some classes and did some workshops, and I got
Mm-hmm.
myself an agent in town, People Store. And
People store.
yeah. And here we are,
Yeah.
started kind of, putting some opportunities together, and,
Mm-hmm.
things started happening. So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Can you kind of speak to, you said, because I'm a theater baby too. So
Mm-hmm.
can you kind of speak to, I studied in London. I got my master's in theater over there. So I did theater
Oh,
since like yay high. But
awesome.
I had kind of that same, those same troubles too with kind of like converting onto film and TV. Can you kind of speak to how that process was for you? Like some of your findings when you realized like, oh wait, this is the same, but this is different too.
The big thing for me is, coming from stage, you have to use your entire instrument, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
your voice is you're conveying the story with everything you've got, whereas that does not translate well on the camera.
Right.
You have to be really big on the stage because the person in the back row
Right.
has to get the same show as the person in the front row.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are some technological advances, like for instance, a lot of big productions will mic actors. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a little bit of assistance in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you still need to be able to project and be loud, and your
Yeah.
expressions, your actions all have to be big. And
Mm-hmm.
basically I had to learn to be more subtle and kind of
Mm-hmm.
bring it in and bring it down a little bit.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, after I got that done, that completely changed everything. Like the first time I went out and I had my audition at People Store, I went and I did it without any on-camera classes, and they were like, "You're good, but you need to take some on-camera classes." So they were like, "Come back in like, I don't know, 6 months or something like that."
Mm-hmm.
So I took that time and I went and I took every on-camera class or workshop that I could get
Wow.
into. And in that, I learned those skills. That's the thing. I feel like if you start off in theater, you tend to be, I think theater actors are obviously, there's just more training when you have to do theater. You work on movement, you
Mm-hmm.
do voice training, you may even do dance. There's all kinds of different elements
Right.
that you have to master
Mm.
when your background is in theater versus if you just took a studio class and just started doing on camera.
Right. Right.
So I feel like if you start off from the theater side, once you master the camera, then
Mm-hmm.
to me, I'm not saying it's the gospel, but I think that those actors are stronger actors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that. I agree
Yeah.
100%. And I love that you definitely honed into taking classes. You did whatever it took in regards to going to workshops. You said it yourself.
Yeah.
You just started applying yourself. You went super hard. They told you to take on-camera classes. You took their expertise and you said, okay, no problem. And you
Mm-hmm.
were willing to put in that work. So I love that about you.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you Can you kind of speak to, so you say you talked about your journey about getting into entertainment, but was it always your dream to be an actor? Or like when you were like young Atkins, what was your dream?
I mean, when I was a kid, I think those seeds got implanted by just watching movies that I loved. I
Mm-hmm.
saw movies, and I saw movies where there were child actors, and I was like, they get to do this as their job. And at the time, it seemed like something kind of far away and just not really a reality for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it away. Like, I didn't think about it much. I was like, that'd be cool, but that's not something that I can obtain. Where do I even go? How do I even do that? I mean, I talked to my parents about it, but they didn't know. We're in Florida. It'd be maybe if we were in California, where the industry really is, it'd be
Yeah.
easier to say, well, I want my child to start acting. In Florida, there's an industry there, but it's not like
Like a
here.
commercial industry.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that moment and I was just like, well, it'd be cool, but all right, whatever. I just keep doing my thing. But I always had stuff where it was like, nothing ever really super jumped out to me. Like one time I remember as a kid, I was playing with some blocks and somebody's like, you're really good at that. And I was like, oh, I guess I want to be a construction worker. Like, I was like very much like kind of aimless. I mean, and that was as a little kid, but as a teenager, like when I left high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Me.
I mean, the band was what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, and I was committed to it, but it wasn't like from the dawn since that, you know, I was a little kid, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I was just like kind of aimless, but
you was like, hey, I guess I'll just figure it out as I go.
yeah. So when, and it's funny how things work. Like I was working at MARTA and I was doing customer service and I was wanting to get into acting so bad. And, but my schedule just wouldn't allow it. Like, you know how it is. You have to be super flexible.
Yeah.
And
you can't just be saying, I can't come today. I got an audition.
Exactly. Like trying to get the time off is damn near impossible. Like, I'd have to put in a PTO request. It'd have to get approved. And, you know, sometimes it's like, we need you tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
So, what ended up happening was I got laid off. And initially I was like, I was upset about it, you know?
Yeah.
But then I found out I was getting a severance package. And I was like, actually, this is kind of a blessing right now. I was like,
bad, huh?
And I took that money and I put it into classes. I was just like living off of it and just like fully committed into like trying to be an actor. And I think that taking that time, using that money to take that time and effort helped me really get a good start into what I was trying to do. So,
Man, I love that you said that. Like that, someone said, very well said, sir. Someone else also said that the question box isn't working. Oh, you're trying to learn how to play the guitar too? All of us are. Guitar.
It ain't easy.
Dang. If the question box isn't working, we'll take them in the comments today because we want to get your questions. I'm not sure why it's not working, but it should be available to you. But if it's not working on your end, just put it in the comment box. That's okay. Not to worry. We want to answer your questions. But I love that you spoke to the fact that you were working at MARTA. You were having issues with getting off jobs. You know, I've went through the same thing in the past. You know, I would just have to quit the job because I'm like, I'm going to this audition. But sometimes you have to pay those bills, so you can't make those types of choices.
Yes.
But I love that you were so transparent and vulnerable and open about your experiences, how you really wanted to get into it. You didn't know how, because I know it's a lot of people that are going to watch this and they're in the same position that you were in, maybe working for MARTA or whatever, and don't necessarily know the steps that needs to be taken.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, like anything, you have to be fully committed. Yeah. I have a lot of people who will ask me, like, what does it take? What do I need to do? And I was like, I literally had to lose my job and put every resource I had. Thankfully, I had enough severance to live off of that for a little while. Right. But I had to put everything into it. And I'm not going to tell anybody to quit their job or do X, Y, Z, some big life-changing thing. But I'm saying that that's what it took for me. I don't want to tell somebody to do that and they'd be like, well, I changed my life and everything's messed up now because
and I'm blaming you.
Yes, you know, and don't do that. But I'm saying that this industry requires of you to be all in. You gotta be 100% about it, and not anything that's gonna be crazy or to your detriment. Like that's the thing. If doing this is harming you mentally, I know so many people who are in such a tough place because of the pressures that the industry can put on you. You know, you're going out there, you're putting yourself out there. You are your product, right? Yeah. And you're getting no's all the time. 99% of the time you're hearing no. That starts to wear on you. You know?
100%. Your self-esteem, all of that.
Absolutely. So for some people, I'm like, if it's destroying you, then maybe you have to take a step back.
100%. Yes. Put your focus on something else.
Absolutely. But if this is what you really want to do and it's what you're really passionate about, then pour yourself completely into it and give it all you have, all your effort. And because I always tell people this, I was like, when you look at the film, TV, whatever have you, the actors that are working, can we say honestly that all of them are the best actors you've ever seen?
Hey, I don't think we
I'm not,
can say that.
that isn't a
Look,
specific thing to any actor,
being
but I'm
good is
saying,
a
yeah,
two
you know, you've
things.
seen some shows where you're like, what is going on right
Who
now?
you know?
Yes.
And can I meet
So,
him?
exactly. So, what that could be said that it's not always who's the best at this, it's who wants it,
The
who's going to
most.
go harder for
Who
it, who's
wants it
going to
more?
work.
Who
Yes.
wants it more?
Who's going to, and stick with it. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
a very important is sticking with it.
Mm.
So,
I love that, man. I love that. I mean, even you just being so transparent with some of the different adversities that you face. Can you kind of speak to like your journey? Like, because people probably see you in this new role and they're like, oh, it came easy for him. No, can you kind of speak to your journey so that you
it
can inspire someone else?
was a road. My first year, um, just having an agent, like that's the thing. A lot of people, I feel like for actors who are just getting in, you get an agent and you're like, I made it,
That's
right?
it.
Like,
I'm good.
yeah,
No worries. Where the money
yes, I'm on my way. And in a way, you are. But for me, I'm like, getting an agent is like you're taking the first step on the road,
at?
right? Because there's still a lot of work to be done. And in my first year, I think I booked one job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before that booking, I was just like, ugh, I was in the worst way. And I had an opportunity come up. It was a commercial. And that was the first, and I got a call from my agent and it was like, you booked it. And I was like, you know, when you get that first booking after being with an
Yeah.
agent,
Yeah.
especially because you're like, oh my gosh, are they going to drop me? I'm
Yeah.
not performing. I'm not booking, you know,
Yeah.
like how long will they let me stay here and not bring any money in, you know?
I love that you say that because I had those same feelings and stuff when I first started.
It's the real truth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Every actor has to at some point in time think about that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
even like years into it, I would still be like, "Oh man, I hadn't worked in a while." You know? But yeah, when you're going at it like that, it's just sorry, I lost my train of thought. But back to the
Yeah, just about your adversities and kind of how you
yes,
this
yes,
road has been bumpy for you. Not
yes. Okay, this is the thing. I booked this job. It was a commercial, first job I ever booked,
mm-hmm.
and I think I got off the agent. I had maybe 10 minutes. I was on the phone trying to call my parents to
Mm-hmm.
tell them like I booked the job finally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm talking to my dad to tell him I got a call back from my agent, um, and he's like, actually, Rick, my brother.
Hey, Rick, love you.
Yeah, and he calls me back and he's like, dude, he was like, they had to unbook you off of the commercial. And I was like, what? And
Stop playing with me.
he was
No,
like,
that
no,
that
I
would have
mean,
been my response.
oh yeah. And I mean, I could hear it in his voice that he was like pretty
Serious.
broke up, you know, because he knows how hard I've been going at it.
Yeah.
And but he was like, they had a budget issue and they couldn't afford all the actors that they had initially booked.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, we got to let one of them go, and you were the one they decided to let go.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, as an actor, I did literally everything I could do. Like I got the job,
Yeah.
and they just couldn't afford me, and
Mm-hmm.
that really defeated me. Like I was like, oh, like this, you can't win in
Yeah.
this industry. Like you
Mm-hmm.
get one step forward and like 10 steps back. Like
Mm-hmm.
even when you win, you still lose. So at that point, I was really like, I'm gonna quit. I don't think I can do this. Like
Wow.
I don't think I can keep pouring myself into this to
Yeah.
get that back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke to a mentor of mine and he said, no matter what you do, you'll always be an actor. So he's like, you can decide to stop pursuing this.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what other job you do, you're always going to be an actor.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was right, you know? So, and he told me to write down my goals for that year. He's like, write down 3 things that you want to accomplish in that year. And there's power in committing stuff to paper, like writing down
Yes.
what you want to have happen.
Setting those
And I did that, and I want to say all of it happened within that year. So,
wow.
but yeah, I mean, but even after that, and things got better, but then, I mean, I had a year where I was killing, and I was just like, can I lose right now? That's just, and that's being a little like whatever. But at that moment, I was like, man, the next year I didn't book a single thing for like 7 months. Like I didn't book a job until like the end of that year. And I was just, it really was like a humbling experience, but it's also just like, this is this job. You'll win, you'll feast, and you'll famine. And that's all a part of what this is.
All
So
part of life.
yes. Yeah. So it is bumpy. It is, you're
I
gonna
love
have
that
some,
you say that.
you're gonna take some lumps. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you've overcome them, and that's amazing. Like truly a warrior. Like I love that. And it's amazing how these different things, even just this career path that we chose, has literally keeps us humble every single day.
Absolutely.
We're
Yes.
constantly
Every
in with
day.
ourselves about
Yeah.
almost everything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'll have some moments like where you really feeling yourself, and this job will check you.
Check you. It will check
Sometimes you
you.
need that.
Yes, it will check you. And I love that you say that, because it kind of speaks to sometimes we get on our high horse or whatever, our ego steps in the way,
Yep.
whatever it might be. But
Yeah.
just treating everybody with kindness, no
Yeah.
matter who it is, when you're on set or just in life, just any simple act of kindness. And so can you kind of speak to like the importance of relationships within the industry?
Man, you never know. Like, I can't tell you how many times since I've started that I met somebody who was a PA or an assistant, and now I'm seeing them and they're running something. They're the head of the casting office. Like,
Yep.
Generally in life, you should treat everybody with respect and kindness. But in this business, it especially is important, because the person who is sweeping the floors yesterday is running the show tomorrow.
They got dreams too. Everybody
Yeah.
got dreams.
Yeah. If somebody's in the mix doing this, they got someplace they want to be. They're not just trying to be at the entry for the rest of their life. They're working towards something,
Absolutely.
You go on a set and you talk to anybody on that set, and they'll be like, well, yeah, I got some projects I'm working on. I'm writing this. I got this on the side. I'm working on a script. No matter who you talk to on that set, they're going to tell you that they have some other ambition in line for them. So when you treat people negatively, that can easily come back around to you, and it probably won't take too long, So
what
it's
you
just
put
best
out,
practice to to be best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking about set, could you share like probably one of your best set experiences, or like a role that you just absolutely love, like your best experience as an actor? What has that been like?
I have been very fortunate to work on a lot of really cool sets and projects. And the best, well, let me not say the best. It's hard. I've had some good ones. But one that really sticks out right now is when I worked on Love Is.
Oh, yeah, I love that show.
Such a great cast. Like, immediately, we all were just like having the best time. Like, I got there and we started just joking, and it was actually, we were actually probably doing a little too much. Like, there was times when they have to come tell us, like, no, you do. Bring it down.
You out of control.
Yeah, but you know how it is,
You're not even doing the work no more. Now you just kikiing, but doing the work, but kikiing.
Yes. But because we had kind of an ensemble, we were all the writers in that writer's room.
Oh, okay.
And I think it really fed into what we were doing on the screen, because we had that relationship that really worked well for the show, Yeah. But it was like, as soon as, and I want to say I knew a couple of the guys coming in, but we became fast friends, and we still keep up with each other, still,
That's awesome.
support each other. And also, getting to work with Kadeem Hardison, Mara Brock and Kill. It was just like so many like legendary people. I'll never forget it. And that's just one really great moment that like I said, I've been very fortunate in my career that I've gotten to work with some really amazing people.
That's awesome, man. That's a dope experience. True
Yeah.
blessing, right?
Yeah. Such a blessing. Yeah. Yeah.
If you could go back in time and not in the place of regret, but just any advice that you give your younger self, what would that be?
Oh,
Younger version of you.
younger version of me, I would say, believe in yourself more.
I love that. That spoke to me.
Yeah, believe in yourself more.
Mm.
So many times I would walk into a situation, like especially when I first started off,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would just be like doubting myself. Like I would walk into a waiting room and be comparing myself to everybody in the
Mm-hmm.
room, and we're not even reading for the same role.
You don't even know why they're there.
I don't know why they're there, but I'm like, well, they're probably
Oh,
really good.
don't
They're
got it.
probably better than I am. You know, like I don't know this person from anybody else, but I've already put that they deserve to be there more than I do. Right.
Wow, man.
So that I wish I could tell myself that you're deserving of this as much as anyone else is. You know, we're all working and we're
Mm-hmm.
all trying to reach our goals.
Mm-hmm.
And you deserve to be here just like everybody else does. I felt I
Mm-hmm.
spent way too much time belittling myself in the
Mm-hmm.
situations that I was walking into. So
I love
that would be a big piece of advice. And also just it's gonna work out.
it. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna work out. Like
Mm-hmm.
trust it. Trust the process. Trust what you're doing. It's
Mm.
gonna work out.
I
So
love that. You said a couple things that spoke to me. I have a whiteboard up in my room and I write
mhm.
myself little notes. And right now it literally says, trust the process.
Yes.
It's going to work
Yeah.
out.
I think we could all benefit from that because, you know, when you're an actor, you don't have a ton of control of your career. I mean, unless you decide, like, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to write for myself, I'm going to make my own lane, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like in any other profession, I know that if I do X, Y, Z, I can expect, you know,
This.
this,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
If I'm an engineer and I go to school and I get my degree, then
Mm-hmm.
when I get out of school, most likely I can go to a company
Mm-hmm. Make this
and be
dollar
like,
amount.
hey, yeah, you know, come in and be like, this is what I'll do. And maybe I worked for this many years,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that after this many years, I should probably be making this much, or, you know, I should be getting a promotion or a raise sometime soon or bonus. There's none of that with acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what you do, you aren't supposed to get anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like nothing is like I can't say that, all right, when you've been acting for this many years, then you
Mm-hmm.
should be doing this or you should have this already.
Yeah.
Like there's people who've been going at it for a long time and they're not where you would think they would be, you
Right.
know, and that's not a negative thing, but that's just
Right.
what the business offers, you know?
Right. 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 100%.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just, and in that way, you don't have as much control as other people do in the professions that they have, where you
Mm-hmm.
have expectations. There's goals, there's benchmarks that you can rely on. That's just
Mm-hmm.
not there with acting for the most part.
Yeah, and we're
So,
all on our own journey. We're all on our own journey, and things come to us in time. And I love that you also spoke. You were so transparent and vulnerable, which we love that, because that's when people really feel from your heart to our heart. You know, you spoke to the fact that you struggled with comparison. You struggled with feeling
yes.
unworthy. I too also struggled with the spirit of unworthiness, and through
Mm-hmm.
working through that and building my self-esteem. Now, when I go into places, I don't even care why y'all here. I'm just here, you know. But
Yes.
that was not always my attitude. That was.
No. And the thing is that I've also learned that, you know, like you need a little bit of that confidence too, right? When you walk in a room and if you're going to be, if these people are going to give you the responsibility of working on their project, right?
Right.
Say, for instance, you're about to be the star of this show.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know that you can handle that, right? Like that you
Mm-hmm.
have the
What it
confidence.
takes.
Like a person who walks in and is second guessing themselves against every other person is
Mm-hmm.
not ready to be
Mm-hmm.
in that position,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to have a bit of I believe in myself, a lot of I believe in myself actually,
Mm-hmm.
and not arrogance or cockiness, but
Yeah.
just being self-assured and knowing what you bring to the table and what you do, and
Yeah.
that you can do it well.
Yes. And
So
that belief in yourself, you begin to project onto the world. And before you know it, now you have so many people believing in you as well. So I love that. I love that. You still there?
I am My phone just did something.
Don't worry, we still with each other. So you kind of spoke to about being a star, which you are, and you're starring on Hightown. So can you kind of speak to us a bit about your character? I watched the trailer, the preview. I'm already like, I can't wait to tune in today.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this show. So, Hightown is a show. It's set in Cape Cod, and basically it follows this woman. Her name is Jackie Quinones, and she's played by Monika Raymond. You might have seen her on Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
But essentially, she's kind of this like hard partying, just balls to the walls, like out of control woman who's just like living her best life essentially. But she's really kind of in a just this self-destructive place. But she doesn't even realize it, right? She lives in this town where that's kind of the norm, right?
Okay.
And it's about her journey to sobriety. And essentially, that's kind of playing against the backdrop of this murder investigation. And I am the person who did that murder. So,
Jackie.
Yeah. So
You the gone.
It's a very different role for me. I've never played anybody who was this I guess to say dark. Definitely not anybody you would consider an antagonist or a villain or anything like that. So, yeah, I was really excited at the opportunity and the challenge of it. You know, it was a completely different process of preparation, but it was a lot of fun.
I bet. Well, I see, even if you guys just go on his page, you can see like a little teaser. It just looks like it's going to be so good. Let's take some questions from our audience here. Some people, so I'll read them from the comments. Where do you recommend taking classes or getting training?
There is a couple of really good theaters in town. There's Gray Studios, Catapult Studios is really good. They also have a fantastic taping facility. If you ever need to tape an audition, they have these great soundproof rooms. I'm a little biased because I used to coach there, but they do have a very good facility and like fantastic coaches. You can't go wrong there. Mornell Studios is really good.
I think that's a good list to start with.
Yeah, I'm like the wheels are spinning. I know I'm missing some other really good ones. Drama Inc. Drama Inc. is also a fantastic place to train. But I mean, you talk to different actors, and everybody's got their place that they go to.
Yeah, that they get comfortable with.
Yeah, you just got to find the right fit.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Someone else said, "Do you have vocal lessons? If so, where do you recommend getting lessons? If not, how did you perfect your voice like that?"
I have not had. Well, I've done like singing lessons, but not super extensively. I did a little bit of vocal training when I was in school. I went to University of North Georgia, and I was part of the Gainesville Theater Alliance. And I did some vocal training there, but I haven't done a ton of work. I probably could do more. Like, people always are like, "Oh, you should do voiceover." And I'm like, I want to, but I do not have, I feel like I don't have the skills. Like, when it comes to putting something on tape for an audition, I'm like, I got that. What's going on, Daily Bag?
I mastered that. I've been working on that one.
Yes. And I know when I'm in the target zone with what I'm doing. With voiceover, I feel like I have no idea when I'm on the mark,
Yeah.
And that's just something that I need to put more time and effort into. But to answer that, I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to do voiceover, Atlanta Voiceover Studio is really good. That's where I take my voiceover auditions. They also have classes and workshops there. I know I'm missing some other ones, but that's one that I can definitely recommend if voiceover is what you're trying to do. If singing is what you want to do, I'm not 100% sure about that. That I'm not. I couldn't really direct you on that.
That was awesome advice, though.
Yeah.
So says, what's it like working with Monika, and what's one thing you learned from her?
Monika is she's just a fantastic person, but she just has, her skill level is just so high. And I mean, anytime I work around people who are that good, I'm just taking notes. Like,
Yes.
what are they doing? How are they approaching the scene and that sort of thing? And I don't know that we had a ton of days together, but when we did, I mean, she's just amazing. She's a super professional, but also just a sweetheart and just a great person. And she just, she has a great way of working, great work ethic, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yeah.
See, someone else is saying, well, she asked this question already. Where do you recommend taking classes or training?
Mm-hmm.
He answered that one for you guys. Oh, and he answered this one too, guys. So I guess you put them in the comment box and you put them here about the vocal lessons. So you should have gotten that, or you can always catch it on the replay as well.
Yes.
So if there were 3 tips that you can leave an artist, I mean, you've already given them so many different 5 tips, but if you could narrow down 3, not necessarily that they could be doing during quarantine because it's only so much they could do, but after you come out of this on the other side, what is 3 things that an artist should be focusing on to advance their artistic careers as an actor?
3 things to focus on.
Yeah, 3 tips. What would you say to them to be doing? 3 things that they should be doing.
I would say that if you're not working, you should be training.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm still like, I haven't got to the point where I'm like, I don't need to take classes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never felt
this the start, guys.
Yeah, like I can always learn something. Like I'm saying, the voiceover stuff, that's something that I'm like, I need to work on that, right? So always be trying to get better. Always be trying something you can do. And as a kind of a caveat to that, but another thing, like give yourself activities and goals outside of this, right? That kind of goes into another thing. Let me structure that. What I'm trying to say is that you need life experience to draw from, but also as actors, you never know. And they're like, can somebody horseback ride? We need somebody who can ride a horse.
And you ride a horse. Have you ever rode a horse?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you take some horseback riding lessons. And even if you never get a job where they ask you to ride a horse, that's an experience to draw from, right? It's going to be challenging. You're going to probably learn some things about yourself. And when you have to do work, that may be something that you draw from,
Absolutely.
But also when I say the other part of that, when I say having something outside of this, I think it's very tough. Like I was saying, how this job can drain and, kind of wear you down. I think it's super important for actors to have other things, other interests
100%.
that are important to them and that mean something to them. You can't just let this be the one thing that you want to be. Now, I said before that you need to pour yourself completely into it.
Yes.
I mean, give it your effort, but I don't mean give it your entire life. Like, if you sit up every day and all you're thinking about is, did I get that job or did I do this? Then that's when you start to tear down. So you have to have other things in your life that are meaningful and passionate to you. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So, you're getting that shadow again?
Yeah, I'm like, I need to run and just go get my lights. But I was even thinking, I should probably set up my lights, So
no, you look good. We've been doing good. That shadow just came back. But basically, in a nutshell, it sounds like you're saying people need to get out there. You would say, get out there, experience life, stay in class, and find other ways to keep yourself well as an artist. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Other ways to keep yourself well, other things that make you happy, because this isn't always going to reward you. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of tough moments. So have other things that bring you joy. And those experiences may be things that you draw on for your work, Right. So, yeah.
And what are some ways that you stay well, whether it be during this quarantine time? How do you keep yourself balanced?
My family, my friends, it's hard now, but I mean, my family's at the house, but if I wasn't quarantined, I love spending time with my friends and family. So, that has been something big to me. Like I actually posted something about this, about how this has been a very difficult time for a lot of people. And, so it's hard to say that, to speak well of it, But for me, I was saying that I haven't had this much time with my wife and my daughter ever.
Wow.
And and
Beautiful.
I yeah, and I don't know that I ever will again. Like once things start to pick back up, can I count on having this many consistent days where we don't have to do anything necessarily, right? Except for be with each other.
Right.
Um, I don't know, but it's been a blessing. My daughter is young,
Truly.
and I've been there to see her and all her little milestones. And,
Oh,
she right now, the only thing she knows is mom and dad are here, right?
oh yeah.
And, not everybody gets that. I know when I was a kid, both of my parents worked,
Yeah, mine
so
there. So
yeah,
yeah. That's a beautiful
absolutely.
sight for her to get to see, witness.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just like, being with them has definitely been an important balance to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, having an outlet, having other creative outlets, like the music for me is
Yeah.
keeping me well. Trying to find some time, like I know we have to be careful about being out, but if you can
Mm-hmm.
go for a walk or if there's a
Yeah.
park nearby or something,
Mm-hmm.
being outside, like you want to be in the comfort of your home, but you have to, like,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll step outside and I'll be like, oh my
Just to
God. Like,
smell that fresh air.
yeah. And I'm like, I have not been out here in a
It's
while.
like you feel like you locked up in jail. It's like, let me smell some fresh air, please.
Absolutely. Yeah. To the point, I was just doing like some yard work earlier, and that was just nice to be outside doing that. Typically, I would not be enjoying that, but I was just like, this is actually pretty nice right now. So,
It's crazy when grocery store visits become like the mall visits.
yeah, like literally, like being like, oh wow, like I'm out of the house right now, and
I'm like,
it's
yeah.
yeah, yeah. When normally nobody wants to be in the grocery store. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
interesting how our lives are changing, but
it
I
is
think that we're coming out much stronger mentally because of it, and we're becoming much more of a community as a collective. The world.
absolutely
So
yeah,
I'm excited about that. The good, which is all I'm trying to focus on to kind of deter myself from spiraling into the bad that's going on. So.
it's easy to, but I'm like right now. That's another thing. It's like depression. I'm probably a lot of people are probably not well,
Hmm.
and it's funny because for so many people for so long, I know myself included, I felt like social media was kind of distancing us, and
Me too.
like being with some
Yes,
real reactions. But now it's the only
it's
thing we have,
connecting us.
to connect. So we didn't realize how much. I mean, maybe
We
not at the time, but now it's important. To
I said the same thing.
yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Like when
connected
else are
us.
you interacting with people except for through these mediums now? So
Hmm. Well, it's such a blessing, like having you on here and connecting with you. Such an
absolutely.
amazing spirit you have, and you've shared so many things with this audience in reference to like some of the things you overcame, just
Hmm.
how you got into the industry, what you're doing now. We're so excited for you in this new show. So we're excited to watch you and grow with you. So we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you coming on here and talking to us today.
Absolutely. And next time, I mean, I hope that we can do this again.
They don't even
Um,
know. They don't even
yeah.
know.
I will be prepared.
I
I will
didn't tell
have
them.
lights. I
I didn't
will
tell them.
have everything. It'll be a real production. So,
Yeah, we're gonna set it up. Next time we might be in a studio. We'll be saying bringing you in.
okay, I'm ready.
Look,
Yeah.
you never know in life. Not just
Speak it into reality. Let's
look.
do
You
it.
never know. Life has its twists and turns. You end up doing this, doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but again, guys, make sure you go ahead and follow Atkins' page. I posted them below. Also, my handle's there and the F.A.T.E Global handle is there. So if you missed this, make sure you watch it on the replay. We get thousands of people that watch it there. I hope you were inspired by what he said today. Brother, you're truly a king. You wear your crown extremely well. And you
Oh
pass
wow!
the
Thank you.
torch. You pass the torch by sharing just your experiences. So that's truly a blessing. And we're extremely grateful for you.
Well, I appreciate you and thank you so much for having me. And I love taking the time to talk. The one thing I will say is that when I was coming up, or not coming up, but coming up in this industry,
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate that I had a lot of good people who gave me good advice and pointed me in the right direction. So
Mm.
I feel that it's important for all of us to look back and be like, hey, here's a little, here's some breadcrumbs. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Also did a lot of stuff. also did a lot of stuff I didn't need to do. So I'm like, here's some help, you know?
Thank you so much for that. And that's part of the reason why I started this company, this foundation for artists to mentor them. Because I myself, when I look as a woman, I look back over my life and say, I didn't have like many mentors. You know, I was blessed with maybe a few, but just growing up, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm like, I didn't have really anybody to role model, or with the exception of like people on TV, or if you look on the media, but I didn't have like physical people that I can really, you know, look up to as role models. So I decided pretty much with this organization, and that now has been developed into a company, is to just become what I never had.
That's amazing.
You know, I've just been sharing my network with other people for free, you know, as a way to help them, you know, because if they had this, who knows where they could be or what they could be doing, you know.
Yeah. You know, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of times, you know, in our community, we don't have, I mean, there are those things, but in certain fields, like in the entertainment industry, like, you don't have that, like, hey, I'm right here to show you what the next step is, you know?
It's all like, I got to keep it here, I got to hold it in, and that's not.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
it's infinite opportunities. It's
yes, there's so much to go around, so many blessings. So, and especially like in Atlanta, we're in a very good position for that. So I'm never on like, I'm not going to tell you, I got to keep the secret for me. I can't do all the jobs, you know?
Right.
So,
you can't be everybody, can you?
No. Matter of fact, it works better if everyone else is on board. So we want to see everybody getting in.
Building from within.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I'm going to let you go. Again, we really appreciate you coming on here. You dropped so many gems. If y'all didn't hear what he said, y'all was not listening. So, blessings to you and the family, and I guess we'll see you soon.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much.
You still there?
You stay. My phone is, it's messing up. Okay. But yeah, stay well and be blessed.
All right, see you soon. Much love.
Bye.
Bye-bye.